Rob, what impact would you say that the C20 had on the final communique from the G20 Leaders Summit?
Well, I think there's certainly impact, I guess, in terms of just trying to get the issue around sort of inclusive growth, although it wasn't sort of highlighted, and the climate change sort of there. I mean, in many ways, and certainly the issue of anti-corruption, in some ways, the most important part is not necessarily the communique, it's actually how does the C20 become part of the workings of G20 over a long period of time. This is only the second time it's happened. The voice of civil society has, in a sense, been left out. It's now finally we're around the table, and in the long term, the best contribution we've got to make is actually becoming a recognised, welcomed part of G20 deliberations. Joanne, Tim, Sana, who actually drove the whole process, did an extraordinarily good job given the time and the resources that were available.
Well, in 20 years' time, it will be Australia's turn once again to host the G20. What advice do you have for Australian organisers of the 2035 C20?
Start early, sort of a bit like vote early and vote often. But, it is a notion of organisation, of rounding up resources. It'll depend a lot on the presidency, on the way the government performs and its approach to civil society and its approach to the whole notion of G20. That, in a sense, helps determine the amount of impact you can actually have. And I think, again, looking, just as a participant, but I do admire the way that my fellow steering group members have actually driven the C20 agenda. I think it's probably more successful than I certainly would have thought so.